Okay, good morning, class. So at this point, you guys have gotten your control test 1 back. Also, you have checked that I've marked every question. By the totals, it looks like I haven't marked most of your questions. And also to check that I've added up the totals properly. Okay. You find it, Michael? Sorry? They can't find your file as well. All the file. It's at the bottom. No. Did you check through the whole cupboard? Okay, finally you found your files. Okay. So we're looking at control test 1 of 2022. This is the control test you guys have written. Please take note of what you're supposed to have written to get the mark for the question. Okay. Not what you guys have written. Here we go. So consider the following numbers. The square root of 125 is 505. That's a third. The cube root of negative 125 is negative 5. And the square root of negative 125 is undefined. Okay. They say which one of these numbers is irrational. So irrational is the square root of 125. Non-real, well, it's actually non-real and not undefined. When is something undefined? When the denominator is equal to 0. So it's non-real for the square root of negative 125. The next question we are given, q equals b squared minus 4ac. Determine the value of q if a is equal to 2, so it's a substitution question. B is equal to negative 1, so it's the square root of negative 1 squared minus 4. My a value is 2, my b value is negative 4. So you can put this in the calculator. It's going to be the square root of, open brackets, negative 1 squared minus 4a, which is 2, and c is negative 4. The square root of 33. State whether q is rational or irrational. Irrational.
Mr. Bodine?
Yes, ma'am?
Mackenzie Hans, can you send it to the office, please?
Yes, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Between which two integers does q lie? So if we're looking at the square root of 33, the perfect square that is less than 33 is the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. So it's lying between 5 and 6. Okay. Also tell me if there's something I haven't told you people. I would be surprised to know what I haven't told you. Okay. Yes. Sorry? You wrote irrational and you got it wrong. Then you circle the question. You're supposed to get the mark for that. But what did you get here? What is your answer here? The root of 33. Sorry? What did you get there? 33. Now, is 33 rational or irrational? 33, not the root of, not this answer they got here. The answer you have is your answer 33, which is wrong. Now, is 33 rational or irrational? Rational. So your answer should have been rational to get that mark. You understand? Okay, anyone else? Two 2.1, expand and simplify. Expand means to say to get rid of the brackets. Okay. So this multiplying, get rid of the brackets. So AB squared times negative 2A4 is negative 2. A5 B squared plus AB squared times 8B squared is 8AB. Okay. Can I add that? No, it's unlike terms. Just look at the next one. How many terms are here? Huh? 2 terms. So we must multiply the terms out before we add like terms. Not so. So what we get is square the first term, I get x squared. Square the last term, I get 1, but here's a 2. So is this an example of the sum or difference of cubes? No. It doesn't conform to the pattern. So what does that mean? I must multiply this whole story. So x times x squared, x cubed. X times negative x squared. X times 2, 2x. Okay. What's 1 times x squared? X squared. 1 times negative x, negative x. 1 times 2, 2. Plus. Will this result into difference of 2 squares? Is the 2 brackets the same? 1 is plus and 1 is minus? Yes. So this is the conjugate pair. So what can I do here? Multiply the first and the last. So I can multiply x by x, negative 2 by 2. So x times x, x squared. Negative 2 times positive 2, negative 2. Okay. What do I do now? Multiply the 2 in, get rid of that bracket. If you want, you could have added like terms here as well. Negative x squared plus x squared cancel. 2x minus x is plus x. Plus 2x squared minus 8. Again, what are we looking for now? Like terms. So that's x cubed. X plus, there's no other x's, so it's going to be plus 2x squared plus x. What is 2 minus 8? Negative 6. Okay. The next one, simplify. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add our like terms inside, or we're going to make it one bracket and fraction, see what happens. That's naturally over 1. What's your LCM inside this in the first bracket? Sorry? 2. So I multiply it by 1. Sorry, by 2. Multiply by 1. So that's going to give you 2 plus 1 times. LCM is here is 3. 3 plus 1 times. LCM here is 4. 4 plus 1 times, and so on. Not so. The last term. So over 1, your LCM here is 2022. 2022 plus 1. 2021 plus 1. 2021. Okay. So what's 1 plus 2? 3. Well done. 3 plus 4, 1? 4. Yes. 5. The last one will be 2023. 2022. 2022. 2021. And so on. What does the dots mean? carries on from that point till that point. So all the fractions between it applies. But what would this now very next number be? It's 3, 4, 5, 6 over. Then? And then? Right. What would the term prior to this be? 2, 0? 2, 1 over? 2, 0? 2, 0. Then? 2, 0, 2, 0 over? 2, 0, 19. And so on. You guys understand? So, looking at that thing, 3 cancels 3, 4 cancels 4, 5 cancels 5. That 6 will cancel that 6 that's in the next fraction. You see that? 2022 cancels 2022. 2021 cancels 2021. 2020 will cancel that 2020. So what are we left with? We left with 2 and 2023. So it's 2023 over 3 marks. This is the lack of not writing or going through a lot of past papers. This shows that. Okay? So if you have gone through the past papers that I've given you, at least 3 of those past papers that I've given you as this question. Exactly this question. Not exactly, but the idea is tested there. You're not going to work through past papers, people, and go through previous lessons, you are never going to produce a good maths. Okay. Next question. Simplify the following, leave your answer in with positive exponents. So I need to sort out this first. Anything in power 0 is 1. So that is going to give you 25 x for y negative 2 over 5x cubed raised to the power 2. I have taken the negative into account already. Okay? So I'm going to now take the square, apply the square. So it's 25x4 y negative 2 over, what is 5 squared? 25. X, 3 times 2 is 6. So what happens now? 25 cancels 25. Where is there more x's? Denominator. So it's going to be 6 minus 4 is 2. Because this y is negative, where must it go? Denominator. So it's going to be y squared. And there must be a 1 on top. Okay. I started setting your June paper 1. Okay? You know it's Ramadan next month. So I don't want to sit in the fast and set you these things. Because I've got better things to do, isn't it? So I've started setting you paper 1. And the same type of questions are in paper 1, exactly the same. Sorry? You're writing 2 papers. You're writing 2 papers. Everything we've done thus far is paper 1. Algebra and all of those things. Equations and exponents, number patterns will still come. That's what I needed to actually check here is. That's why I haven't completed it. I've quite a bit into the paper already. I just need to check which topics These graphs, so the topics, listen, you got the topics already. Algebraic equations, number patterns, and functions, which is your graphs. Okay. Then for paper 2, you got the analytical geometry, trigonometry, and geometry. But it's easy, man. Easy. No? But at least, listen, the bright side of it is, you can start studying for that paper. How? By mastering the paper that is in the road. Because all these things are tested again in June. And again in November, paper 1. Okay, so don't be fooled and say, okay, I'll make it up in the other section, in the other exam. It's the same stuff that gets tested all the time. Okay. People, this is your exponents here. So 25 can be broken up into 5 squared, a minus b, times 5 minus b over 125. That can be written as 5 cubed raised to the 2a. Now for those of you who don't know how to get that, 125 equals shift and this button here. Okay, so shift, factorize, 5 cubed. 25 equals shift, factorize, 5 squared. Now what do we do? Something raised to a high exponent, we multiply the exponent. So it's 5 to the 2a minus 2b times 5 to the negative b over 5 to the 6a. When we're multiplying it, bases are the same. What do you do to the exponents? We add them. So it's 5 to the 2a minus 2b plus minus b. When we divide it, bases are the same. We subtract the exponents. So it's going to be minus 6a. So you got 5. 2a minus 6a is negative 4. Minus 2b minus b minus 3. So they said with positive exponents. So where does that belong? At the bottom in denominator. So I'm supposed to have written that as 1 over 5 to the 4a plus 3. Okay. You guys are losing marks everywhere. So I think she accepted that as a solution. Okay. Otherwise you got another mark that you are penalized on. Okay, the next question. So people, there's a plus or minus between it. So here, I need to break up so that I can factor it. I'll break that one up and this here. So it's 3 to the p minus 3 to the p times 3 to the negative 1 over 3 to the p times 3 to the 1 plus 3 to the exponent p. So what is common? 3 to the p. So you go 3p into. I took that whole term out as a common factor. Leaves with 1 minus. Okay, take this out as a common factor. 3 to the negative 1 over 3p into 3 plus, okay. Now what? 3 to the p's cancel. That's all. So it's going to be 1 minus 1 over 3. And what's 3 plus 1? Well done. Okay. So what is 1 minus 3? What's 1 minus a third? 2/3. Divided by 4, which is multiplied by 1 over 4. Remember that is a divide, so I tumble n times. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. Oops. .4. It says simplify the fractions, factorizing when necessary. Now, looking at this here, let's go there first. See, okay? That's going to give you x plus 1. So what do? Square the first term, I get x squared, that times that, and the opposite operation. Square the last term. Do you see the second bracket here? Do you see the second bracket in the numerator of the first fraction? You see that? And what did I tell you about this here? This will never be able to factorize. But many of you go and you factorize this numerator on top. But anyway, change that to multiplication. Change that to multiplication, tumble enter. 2x plus 2, what's going to happen here? Common factor of 2. I'm left with x plus 1 over. So what happens now? X plus 1, cancel x plus 1. X squared minus x plus 1, cancel. 2 cancels 2. So what are we left with? Okay. Any confusion there? Alright, simplifying here. What do we need to find first? LCM. What's your LCM here? 21. So that must be multiplied by what? 7. So it's 7 into 2x minus 1. What must this be multiplied by? 1. So it's 3x plus 1. What must this be multiplied by? 21. Okay. You can go straight into multiplying that, but it's the safer way to do it. Okay. So 7 times 2x, 14x. 7 times negative 1, negative 7. Negative 1 times 3x, negative 3x. Negative 1 times 1, negative 1. 21 times 1, 21. And this is all over. Now what do we do? Now, also saying this here, that is the common mistake that learners make. When they multiply this straight away, they always write a positive. Okay? So what do we do now? We add like terms, not so. So 14x minus 3x.
Good afternoon, may I have your attention?
It's 11x.
Girls playing hockey this afternoon to
Plus
meet
13.
Mr. Carruthers now in his classroom at break.
Is that correct?
All girls playing hockey this afternoon to meet Mr. Carruthers in his classroom now at break. Thank you.
Okay. And as usual, we will stop today. For tomorrow's lesson, we will conclude with the rest of the paper. Also, we will have a look at whatever questions are mismarked and do the correction. Okay. So, collect the files again. We'll hand it out during tomorrow's lesson. People enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon, class.